everyone. So take a couple of minutes and you're gonna answer these questions that you see on the screen on your little notepad. It's asking about your online workspace. Is it organized? If somebody were to hack into your Google Drive, would they be able to make sense of it? And what are some surprising things you've noticed about kids' online work habits? How long do we need? 1 minute, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, great. All right, it looks like everyone's finished. Does anybody need more time? Cool. Okay, so we're gonna watch a quick clip and then we'll share out some of the ideas that we wrote down.
Oh my God, Jerry, when you check your email, you go to Alta Vista and type please go to yahoo.com.
Well, how else would I do?
You don't have your email bookmarked? Do you have any bookmarks?
That's bookmarks.
God, Jerry, you don't deserve the internet.
Nice. Okay, so here we saw young Tom and older Jerry sharing their frustrations about how to use the internet and how to get into email and things like that. So would you consider yourself more of a Tom or a Jerry? Anyone?
I think I'm more of a Tom, but not necessarily that aggressive toward Jerry's.
Right, not so judgmental as Tom,
Yeah,
but more of a Tom in
yeah.
like knowing how to use the tech. Okay, thanks Jackie. Anybody else?
If I compared myself to one of my students, I would feel like the Jerry, but in a situation like this, Tom for sure.
Definitely a Tom.
Me too, definitely. And we also see that in our students. Like we have students who are Toms and some who are Jerrys too. And so I flip back and forth depending on who I'm talking to. You know, some of them I'm a Jerry, others I'm the Tom, and I'm like, how do you not know how to do this? And that's kind of the point of our lesson. So what are some of the things y'all wrote down? Is your online space organized? What do you think?
I would say mine definitely is, just because I am a color coordinator and I like to know resources by the unit. That way I can kind of find them year after year, since we've now worked with digital classrooms for some time, / for all my years of teaching. So I think that would be kind of the biggest way to help. And then to that second question, I think if someone had to like go in and find it, like someone who's on my team, hopefully they can go in and be like, oh, Romeo and Juliet unit, like, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird unit, and it's just, you don't have to fuss with everything.
Perfect, thanks.
I think my team drives are a lot more organized than maybe my personal drive, because I know there's a method to my madness, which is I just know I name things pretty meticulously, so it's easier for me to find that way. But if a person just opened up my homepage, they might be a little confused. But I'm fine with that.
Nice. Yeah, and you mentioned naming things meticulously. That's something that we're going to talk about too, is how to save a Google document with an actual decent, consistent format instead of just not naming it. What about you, Shelly?
Very similar to Chelsea. Like my personal one is kind of a little bit random. I know it, but somebody else might not. But for sure for school, it's very organized, mostly for me more than somebody else, because I need to be able to find everything when I need it.
Nice.
And I feel like to that last question that you asked us about our students, every year I try to incorporate some kind of naming your document system and what have you, but by the end of the year, you're like, okay, which untitled document can we find? Was it, and then they have to look by date or something, so at the very least, they're looking at the date organization on a drive, but the next step to actually help themselves.
Oh, they can't find anything, and whenever I'm like, well, let me look at your computer, they think I'm a magician. Like, no, I just know when we did the assignment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
But I
step
think
they can't
it's,
reach.
I feel like it's just not, I don't know if it's just like not something like conventions for how to do that, if it wasn't ever like explicitly taught at a young age where it was really formative for them, but I don't know if that's why they struggle with it so much.
Yeah, and that's a good question, which leads us into the next piece, which is the why of this lesson, right? So we tend to take for granted that digital literacy skills aren't inherent, right? So when we were kids, we were taught, and especially probably Shelly and I, we were taught just how to turn on and shut down a computer, right? When we were very young. And y'all are a little younger, but we weren't born into a digital world. And even our kids now, they don't have these skills. They're not born with them. We have to teach them, right? So we teach them how to organize their backpacks, their notebooks, their rooms, and everything at school and at home. But we often think that because they were born into this digital world, that they automatically know how to organize their online lives. And so we're hoping that we can help them out and like doing what Jackie's doing, helping them get organized. And it might not always work, but hopefully they can take some of this and move forward in a more organized way, because it's kind of stressful when they can't find something, right? So a couple of examples of things that I've seen that are not so good. I might say, okay, go to Blend, and a child will go to Google and search for the word blend, all lowercase. This is a real life example. And another real life example, I said, okay, create a Google Doc, or maybe open a Google Doc. And they go and search Google for a Google Doc. Instead of just going to the portal or their Google Drive and opening it, they go and do a Google search for what they're supposed to be doing, which is not appropriate at all, and it's a waste of time. Also, we were talking about saving earlier. Chelsea brought up saving. I might say, pull up your argument essay, and they will pull this up. And this is a real life example. So someone mentioned untitled document. That's often what we see. We also see Google save a document as like the first multiple words of a document, right? And so in this case, if a kid wrote an argument essay 2 weeks ago and didn't name it, AP Lang argument essay, they aren't going to be able to find it. So this is one of the things that we're hoping to help them out with too. All right, so some good examples. I say go to Blend, and this child has everything bookmarked here, right? Which is really smart. She has her 7th period, that was my class, right? So I told her to go to Blend, and after this is her US history, but after this she clicked on 7th, and it opened up her AP Lang course, which is very smart, and she was super organized. And then this is what my Google Drive looks like. Kind of like Jackie, I'm color coordinated, and I have my periods open, and then in my everything folder, that's where I have my other, like my units and things like that. And of course my team drives are really nicely organized too. Okay, so the objectives of this lesson, y'all are pretty tech savvy, but we want to make sure that our teachers know what they're doing as well with the new Google rollout. So you're going to do a very simple task. You're going to look at the checklist in front of you, and by the end of the lesson, you're going to be able to go into your Google Drive, create a new folder and a new Google Doc. You're going to save that Google Doc to that specific folder, and if time, you're going to share the doc with the person next to you. So we'll see if we get to that part, but let's go. Objectives. So we're going to locate the Google Drive. So somebody tell me, how do I get to the Google Drive?
From Chrome?
Sure, yeah, so open up the internet.
Yeah.
And then what?
Chrome, and then
Find the doc.
I would most likely go to the portal first.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
Oh.
it will ask you to
You have to sign in
sign
anyways.
in.
Mhm.
Yeah, so even if you do go to the chat, or not chat, Google platform of some kind, we'll just kind of backtrack, so portal first.
Perfect. Yeah, so open the portal and log in, right? And we all know our login info. And then once you're in the portal, what would you do to get to the Google Drive?
Search feature for Google Drive.
Yeah, you could use the search feature, or I have mine bookmarked on my top screen. And then you would open the Google Drive. If it's not there, then yeah, you would go and use the search function that's at the very top. Yay. It looks like Jackie doesn't have one.
It's okay.
Are we supposed to be doing this as we go? Should we be doing this along with you, or we're gonna do it on our own?
Yeah, you're gonna do it on your own right now. Yeah, so you have your little checklist in front of you. So you're gonna log into your portal and go to your Google Drive. That's okay. Probably a typo. Cool. So your task is on here, and it's on the screen. Well, it's about to be on the screen. So this is that same checklist that you have in front of you. And then just remembering the objectives: creating a new folder, creating a new Google Doc, saving the doc, and sharing it if there's time. And I'll just walk around and make sure everybody's good.
Doesn't wanna let me in.
This morning my duo failed twice in a row, and it freaked me out. I was like, oh god, because I couldn't get into this presentation. Okay, Chelsea's really fast. The instructions are on that piece of paper in front of you too, Shelley.
Oh, I can read them better from over there
Oh,
than
good.
from over here, because
Nice.
I'm old and blind.
Gotcha.
Oh, I created this in the folder, so I don't have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's another
You
skill.
did
I
what?
was
You can make it just in the, like if you go to your folder and add a new document, it just opens it.
yes, I was hoping somebody would do that.
That's
Because
what I
that's-
did.
It's definitely the easiest way to do it, but a lot of times kids will go in and create a doc and then they won't save it into their class folder or whatever they need to do.
Or it also doesn't like automatically put you in the new folder, you just create it. or
Exactly.
whatever, it just leaves it on your, what's it?
In your home or my drive or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
It's just fun, cause normally I like read ahead to like try to cheat directions, and I'm
Yes.
glad it just is a natural path to me.
Nice. I hope that I'm sharing it to you.
No, that's not me.
That's not you.
No, it's NCC. There's a picture of me.
Well, no, I'm not on the Austin ISD. It wouldn't let me in, so I'm on my own Google Drive.
Oh, it's still NCC instead of NAC.
Oh, there we go. Try that. Okay.
Yay.
Awesome, great. Did everybody finish your task?
Yes.
Great, that's perfect, awesome. So it looks like y'all are pretty handy with the Google and everything. So what else do we have here? Okay, so I have an exit ticket for you, and we're not gonna be quite done. We still have a little bit of time, but we can go ahead and do the exit ticket, and then we'll look at a couple of extensions. So the exit ticket, if you scan the QR code with your phone, it's a very easy Google form that you can fill out to let me know what we can move forward with our teachers. Okay, it looks like everyone's done with the form. Thanks for filling it out. So a couple of extensions in the Blend Commons. If you search for Google training, there's a ton of stuff. I searched for it the other day just for fun, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. The Blend Commons, for anyone who doesn't know, is we can all create things and then share it not only to our teammates, but to the whole district, and then you can go in and search and find Blend courses for all types of things, whether it's curriculum or Google training or things like that. Also, YouTube has a couple of good, there's IT Genius and Super Schoolhouse. They both have good Google trainings as well. Here's my reference for the Parks and Rec episode. And then this is the end of the presentation, but I would like to spend a little bit of time, since we have more time, looking at some other features of the Google Suite. Since we just got this big rollout, and we already have been using a lot of these things, but there are a couple of new features as well. So we could look at Google Calendar, and maybe we could help each other as well look at some different things. So if we go into the Google Drive, Chelsea, you use Google Tasks a lot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So can you tell us how to get there?
So it's called Tasks Board. When you go into Google, though, it's more of an extension than anything, and then it just connects to Google. So if you search Tasks Board, and it's like two little blue rectangle, like a square and a rectangle. It's all one word, so maybe. Yeah.
Oh wait.
I think was it there?
This one?
Yeah, there.
Okay,
it is.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So this is different than.
So it's just in it. Yeah. So it's not like the checklist for. But it is helpful, and then you can have it on your phone if you want, and
Nice.
and then you can have different task lists.
Cool. Okay. So is this just more? No, I don't want to pay right now. But I'll just go and look. Okay. Nice. So is this just more involved than the tasks that like this one that comes with? Because where is it? Where's tasks? This one's just a checklist, right? Like you can make lists, but then you just check things off.
This one, it can be as involved as you want it to be.
Okay, cool.
So if you go back to it, and if you go like, you can have a list, as many different lists as you want. Like if you have, like I don't know, you can add subtasks. So like whenever you go to tasks, you can add a list, have it something specific, or like you can title it, you can provide details, you can schedule it for the date you need it to be done, and even the time. You can add attachments to it.
Oh, cool.
For documents, you can add people to it, and then
Nice.
it's and you can even add labels too. So if you know something like for AP Lang that you were working on.
Nice. That's cool. And you said you can add people, so you can use this for your team and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
And so it's different than this Google Tasks.
Yeah, this is what I had always used. I don't know if Tasks is newer or if we had it before and then it went away. I don't know.
So the Google Tasks, so you can get to it by going to your calendar. And then up at the top right, there's like a little calendar icon, and then there's a check, like a little circle with a check mark. That's how you get to this one.
Okay.
And I've found.
Oh, it connects. It fully connects.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's the same. Nice.
Yeah, so I just clicked on it and it's my exact list.
Oh, perfect. Cool. That's awesome. Okay, that's good to know for people. Where was I? There we are. For people who were using tasks board to begin with, and now they can just hop in through their school Google Drive to find their stuff too. That's nice. And then the Google Calendar is there as well. And does anybody teach any research projects at all? I know in true crime y'all do research.
We
right?
do, and then in rhetoric, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because there's also Google Scholar, which I don't know how many have used that, but Google Scholar is a really good tool for high school students to use as well. Do y'all know any other Google features that you like to use?
I mean, I've definitely gotten more comfortable using Google Meet
Okay.
lately,
Yes.
and since the rollout, Google Chat honestly feels a bit more user friendly to me
Yes,
than
agreed.
before. But those are kind of the two biggest that I've gotten.
I love forms, of course, but I've been using sites. I started just kind of in preparing for Blend to maybe go away. I started putting things on Google Sites and making a Google site, and I've also used it with the students, even with our ESOL students, and it's pretty accessible.
Nice.
So Sites is good and would be good for like a research presentation aspect to kind of like just look at it, and it's all in their drive. It's as if you're in the same domain together, you can access it, so it's really nice. So I really liked working with that. And there's a new feature, if you go to like adding something new in Drive and go down to the more area, there's one called Lucid Chart.
Okay.
I'm still messing around with it and trying to figure it out, but we might use this in rhetoric for brainstorming. So you can do like group brainstorming. It's got so many different templates and features, but it's like a digital whiteboard. You can do
Nice.
mind maps. It's really, it seems really interesting, but I don't.
Yeah, there's
Still working on it.
there's another app that I've used that's
Like
like that.
Jamboard.
Maybe so, but that's great that we have it in Google. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
super new. I'd never seen it before, but there's boards, there's diagrams, so you can do a lot of cool things with it.
Nice.
Cool.
That's cool. I didn't know about that either. Yeah, I used to use Jamboards. Because it was so accessible. We had it through Google, but I think it went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Whatever
no
it
more
was-
Google Jamboard.
Whatever it was that I was using, I got from Jamie, but you can only have like 3 different boards.
Padlet.
Padlet, yes.
Padlet's cool, but yeah, if you don't pay, then you can only have 3 little things
Yes.
at one time.
Yeah.
So this is
Um,
great. Yeah.
And this one does a lot more than Padlet. I think there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve to figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool.
Yeah, it looks like there are some cool features here.
How did you access it?
So if you go to new at the top,
Oh,
I think there
And
was
then
more.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Got it. I see we have it.
Gotcha.
And it looks like Nearpod is in there now. I know a lot of people like Nearpod. I've never
Yes.
really
What is
used
that?
Yes.
That's a great question. I'm not really. I just keep hearing people talk about it, and I never.
It was, ooh, it wants me to sign it. So it was something that was used a lot, especially during the COVID times. And it was where, ooh, well, I guess I'm signing up for Nearpod. It was a way to,
Oh, I've used it apparently and made things in it. So.
Oh, there you go.
I know, it's, I felt like I had gone in and tried a
It's
little
kind
something.
of like a plug and play. So like you teach live participation, and the kids can use your code to get it on their screen, or you can have it student paced, and it's just a way where the students can interact with the slideshow that you made.
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's like an interactive slideshow, yeah.
I like it. I'm learning a lot
It's not
today.
letting me go in, but that's okay. Yeah, the Nearpod is cool. I remember my older child having to watch many of those during the COVID times.
Yeah, there was like Nearpod, PlayPause. It's the one that you get stuck in. You can't fast forward.
Yeah, play, pause it, yeah.
Nightmare.
Google Slides, of course, is a biggie that we use for our kids. And my students were telling me, because I always make them use Canva for presentations, because Canva is so superior to Google Slides. But they said, Ms. Hejny, it's improved. So that's
A
nice.
huge variety. Some
Yeah.
of them, I've found like the pictures that are embedded, like they don't delete the same easy way a normal one does.
Oh boy.
So it's almost like
Okay.
you have to like delete the whole, like the box it's in. You can't just like remove the image. It's almost like that. But
Okay.
yeah, that kind of difference I think has been the only thing I've noticed. But they're like still cool, and you can like cover the image with an existing image or
Yeah.
something. But
That's odd.
yeah, I don't know.
That would be a good question to ask the librarian about how to
Yes.
use the new version of Google Slides. Because that seems like, that's weird, like they wanna force you to use their pictures or something.
Yeah, and it's like a dolphin in there. Like it's
Yeah.
like something you don't necessarily need or whatever.
Yeah.
But oh, it's
And then what else? Sites. Chelsea mentioned Sites. Sites is good. It's really good.
Sites I am trying to, I need to go in and like finish mine. But it was fun. And I was trying to like find ways to, and it was just a lot of messing around with it.
Yeah.
What do you use for your school name when you go into the new one?
So sometimes it's Bowie and sometimes it's James
this was James
Bowie.
Bowie. I
Yeah.
just did it. Yeah.
Oh.
Saying it's not down.
Oh.
Make sure your zip code is up to date.
Does it have to be the school's zip code?
Yeah.
What is the
Oh,
school's
that
zip
might
code?
be-
78749.
That might be why I
That's
couldn't
cool,
get it.
Wendy.
This is cool. So I just figured out that if I hit tab, I move over. And that's that. So this is cool. I like this a
I
lot.
also think students really like, some maybe wouldn't vibe so much with like all of the organization, but for some, this is like bread and butter.
Yeah.
They're so excited
Oh
about
yeah, they would love this.
color coordinating and
Yeah.
fun looks.
I'm very excited about it.
Uh-huh.
And then you can make it a full screen. Yeah, this is nice.
Very cool.
And Gmail, everyone.
Mhm.
So one good thing about getting the Google is that we all know how to use Gmail
Mhm.
already, because most of us already have an account. So that's nice. So there's not a big learning curve there. Chat, I agree with Jackie that chat is so much more user friendly
Mhm.
than Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
So that's nice that we have that new feature. So that's great. Well, I hope that y'all got something out of this lesson and that you can take it forward to your students. and I'll be looking at your Google Forms that you filled out to see what questions you have and how comfortable you feel opening a new folder, creating a new folder, creating a new document, and helping your kids get the most out of their online workspace. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.